Hello, you're watching Ellie from Ellymentry Papercrafting. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the UK. Today I'm going to show you another A5 card, and I'm going to be using the True Beauty stamp set along with the dies, which are called Split Card Textures dies, and I'm going to use this one. I don't really know what to call this. To me it looks like a bit of a trellis. So that's the kind of look I'm going for today. I'm just going to be using a Blackberry Bliss and Old Olive. At the moment, I'm not quite sure. Maybe another colour will come in, but we'll see what happens. So to begin with, I'm going to take my basic white cardstock and I'm going to do some stamping on this. So I'm going to be using the main stamp from True Beauty. In fact, that's the only one I'm going to use from this set. I've teamed it up with Nature's Prints, and from this stamp set I'm going to be using this beautiful fern and this lovely sort of mixed foliage. So I'm going to just move this out of the way so that I can lean on my large piercing mat here. So I'm going to be stamping in this bottom right hand corner here. So I'm taking the Blackberry Bliss and I'm going to stamp a cluster and I'm going to stamp once in full strength, the second generation and a third. It's always nice to get those three different tones of one colour of ink. And then I'm going to bring in the Old Olive and the fern leaf. And I'm going to pop that one there. And we'll have one going across here. And I'll lay this one like so. I want the full strength of the Old Olive for this particular leaf. And then I'm bringing in that one that's got sort of different kind of foliage. Now I'm only going to ink it up from there. I'm not going to use the stem on this one because I want this to sort of just feed in between. I'm going to use a mask. So what I've done here is I've stamped this image onto a piece of our masking paper. It's really, really good. It's got a low tack stickiness to one side. So I'm just going to find the edge. Oh, there it is. There is like a fold in it so that you can sort of use that to help you keep the backing to stick this on with, because you can use this several times. So just to take the main stickiness off, I just do this on my skin a couple of times, and that kind of, it makes it sticky but not too sticky. Now you'll notice that this is slightly smaller, and there's a reason for that. I want it to stamp close here, and it where you've got the edge of the masking paper, some of your stamping doesn't work, so you need to cut a little bit away so that you'll see when I stamp it anyway. And I'm just going to put a piece down here because I don't want this to stamp onto there. So let's go in with the green, and I'm just going to stamp off here because I don't want it so heavy, and then that's going to go over like so, so that it looks like it's coming out of the back of this arrangement here. So let's take this off of that one, and we'll just place it on top of here so that I can repeat that again. So I'm just going to stamp off. I want this to be here, so I'm going to place this along the bottom here so it doesn't go over the top of my flower. And to get this off, if you just lightly bend your cardstock, so you see it's going behind and not over the top. And then I'm going to do a third one over here. So we'll just place that there as well. So we'll stamp that off once. And we'll pop that there. So if I remove that, we've got this nice corner design. So now I'm going to pop my die up in the corner here. And I'm just placing my cardstock on 2 straight lines, and I'm going to try and get this level in the corner here so that the border is equal at the top and the sides. So these are 1/4 inch markings here. So that looks pretty good to me. And I'm going to use a piece of my tape to make sure that's stuck down firmly. And I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. So that's cut really nicely. And you can just get these bits out by gently knocking it onto a surface with the cut side up. And those few little bits will come out quite easily with your fingers, okay? And then you can do the same with this. So they've come out quite easily. Any stubborn bits, just give them a little bit of individual attention. There we go. So let's just get rid of these. So that's the top part of our card. So I've got some foam adhesive sheet here, and this is great because I want to prop this up, but I don't want to put lots and lots of dimensionals on there for 2 reasons. It would take an awful lot of dimensionals to cover the whole of this area, and if you put lots of small sticky pads on the back of this, then when it's posted it might dip between the things. So if you put the foam pad on, that's brilliant because that actually does cover the whole area. And you just peel off the back like this, and then it'll fit on there. So I'm just going to place that in the corner like so, and then I can peel that away. Right, I've just realised this particular piece I've got here is an old piece I picked up from somewhere, and it's only sticky on one side, so I put some double-sided tape on there so I can stick it onto my card base using that. So what I have to do now is take a second piece of the card, which is exactly the same size as my first one, like so, and I'm going to stamp this again, but I'm going to have that in the opposite corner, but I'll do it down here to start with, just so that it does mirror the one I've already done. So that's the second image, okay? And it's not exactly the same as the first, but that's okay. Now the idea is I'm going to mount this one onto the card base. Just take this away. I like to work on this surface because it doesn't slide about. So I'm going to use my multi-purpose, Tombow multi-purpose glue for this. So make sure you glue down your edges. And then put some in the middle as well. Right, make sure the card's the correct way up. I want this to be in the top. And then we'll pop that down, leaving that 1/4 of an inch border all the way around. And I like to grab my bone folder and just make sure the glue is evenly dispersed. And then this is going to go on the top, so we get the design showing through. So I've put some foam all around here, but I need some to go round the sides as well. Now, I could use dimensionals, but again, I want a solid line here. And I could use the thin strips. I've got these Stampin Up, what are they called? Foam adhesive strips. They're really thin. I would need to use several, so I don't really want to go down that route. I want to keep the thin ones for when I do shaker cards, when I need some good thin tape. So what I've done is cut some of this foam down to a narrow width to go around the side here. So that's going to stand up well in the post. So now all we have to do is stick one on top of the other, like so. Now, because this is the same size as that one, if I make sure I get it to fit at the bottom here, then it should fit all over, like so. So I've got the desired effect. This is the first one I've made. This was all in my head, and I haven't got one that's already made ahead of time to see how it turned out. But I am really pleased with that. I think it looks really good, and you can see the dimension from the side here. But what's good is because you've raised it, as you look through, you get the shadow of the grid onto your page, and that really does give it a different dimension. Now I want to put a greeting on here. I'm going to put happy birthday here, and I'm going to use the biggest wish. This is new to me. It's not new to Stampin' Up. It's in the annual catalogue. In the annual catalogue that was released in May, so it's been around a time, but I've only just got it. So I'm going to mat a piece of basic white onto some Blackberry Bliss. So I've just cut this into a rectangular shape, and I've given myself about a 1/16 of an inch border all the way around, and that will just sit like that, and it gives it something to lift it. Okay, so I'm just going to pop some glue on the back of this. So I'll sit that sort of, I think there, so you see a little bit of the cut out at the top, or I might even, so yeah, I think about like that. So I just want some glue in the bottom right, bottom corner here. I'll do it sort of, yeah, I think that looks good. So I'm going to finish this off with some embellishments. Not a great deal, but I think it does need something. And I thought I'd use these green, I can't remember what they're called now, sequins. Oh, the sequins that are available in our catalogue. They come in a pack that contains the greens, the pinks and the blues. So you get a lot for your money, and they're really versatile. And I find the best way to do this is actually just to put some dots of glue on the card itself, and then pop the sequins on just by lifting them up with a dampened finger. That seems to work for me. So I'm just going to put a couple of random dots of glue, and you know, it's quite difficult to get exactly what you aim for, but they're all really pretty, so whatever we end up with will be fine. So I think I might do 3 clusters of these, and it's just occurred to me that if I actually pop a few into the lid, they're easier to pick up. And then I'll put one of these little gold ones here. Okay, so I think that that's enough of that. You know me, I don't like anything overly fussy. I like things to be quite simple, plain and elegant. So I hope you like my card today. And just as a reminder, I used the biggest wish for my sentiment. My foliage was from Nature's Print, and the floral element came from True Beauty. And the colours I used were Blackberry Bliss and Old Olive, and of course the white. So I really hope you've enjoyed today's video. I'd love it if you gave me a thumbs up. That helps with my YouTube algorithms. If you'd like to purchase anything I've used today, or in fact anything available in the current digital downloadable catalogues, you'll see links to the catalogues and to my online store in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you here for my live on Saturday afternoon at 2:30. Bye-bye for now.